Good afternoon, YouTube. Dave here, and I want to share a tip for opening your third eye and trying to get your third eye to awaken to the visual experiences that you can have if your third eye is opening. This is something that I am currently working on, and I just want to kind of share the process as I go along, and hopefully it may help someone out there who's also trying to do the same thing. So this technique is very similar to how I would do an astral projection. So in the morning as I get up, I would just wake up and start to gently fall back to sleep, and I would hold focus on my crown chakra, or awareness on my crown chakra. And as my body falls asleep, the tingles would start to spread over my body and enter sleep paralysis, and then I would leave my body and have an astral projection. It's pretty similar, but it's obviously less of a feeling technique and more of a seeing, because what you're trying to do with your third eye is to see. So the first thing that you have to have for this tip to work is the room has to be completely dark, completely black. The pineal gland works a lot better when the room is dark or in darkness, and obviously, you know, when you go to sleep it's dark and pineal gland turns on, and that's what you see your dreams with and what you see with when you do astral projection. So the room has to be dark, and you have to do it when you feel like you are about to go to sleep. You want to be very, very, very close to actually going to sleep and just hovering right on the edge. So it takes a little bit of practice to fine-tune the timing for that. You want to, for those who do out-of-body experiences and go into sleep paralysis, you want to be just a moment or two before sleep paralysis, or when sleep paralysis just ever so, like just a millimeter or two of sleep paralysis starts to tingle on your body, but you want to hold it at that point. You don't actually want to go into a full-on sleep paralysis, because we're trying to get the third eye to open while your body is still awake, and body and mind are still awake, not while your body is asleep but your mind is awake. So in the morning I'll wake up and I'll start to drift back to sleep, and as I'm going back to sleep my eyes are obviously closed, the room is dark, and I just start to look. And so yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to explain. I'm looking with my physical eyes behind my eyelids and out into the distance, but because your eyelids are closed, your third eye is automatically turned on, and as you're starting to fall into, or just as you start to fall into sleep, either two things are going to happen. One, you will start to see the image of a dream form in front of you. It'll be like almost watching a movie screen, and you'll just see these images start to appear in front of you. If you let your body fall asleep, then it will just turn into a full-on dream, and it will turn into a lucid dream, and from there you can go into a lucid dream if you want. But if you actually are aware enough and sensitive enough to, if your body is falling asleep, you want to stop just before your body falls asleep and hold that level of relaxation and that level of consciousness, and you can start to see your dream images form in front of you, but you won't actually fall asleep. And since you're not falling asleep, your body is awake, your pineal then you're starting to train that to work a little bit more while your body is actually awake. The second thing that can happen is that just before your body falls asleep, I might feel a tiny bit of sleep paralysis coming on just at the top of my head, but I'm aware enough that I can actually stop that from happening and not let it spread into the rest of my body to go into an out-of-body experience. So I don't fall asleep, and then I hold that level of awareness and level of relaxation, and so it's deeply, deeply, deeply relaxed. The mind is still, and some images will, if it's not the dream images, the second thing that will happen is you will start to see things appear in front of you, and so these are definitely not dream images. You will see, for me, I'll see beings, or I'll see geometric patterns or geometric shapes that will kind be looking through a kaleidoscope almost of colors. And I had a couple of neat experiences that I'll share. And this about 2 weeks ago, I had one where I was practicing this in the morning, and when I'm laying there and I'm very relaxed, I just see a wall of purple of swirling. And what happens to me when this, through doing this little technique, is the purple swirl will actually form into an image itself, and like I said, it will form into the image a couple times. It's actually formed into the image of a being. So the first time it happened, this purple swirl is I'm witnessing it in front of me as I'm in this very relaxed state, and it forms into two things at first. The first thing is it formed into the image of a little lady about that big, and maybe, an inch and a half or 2 inches, I guess, in size. And she was wearing nothing but a lower body loincloth, but upper body was, open, and there was no clothes there, but she had wings, and they were wings of a bird. And it either could have been a very small angel, or it could have been a fairy. And she just looked straight at me, and then she flew right at me. And as she flew right at me, she burrowed into my head. And as she burrowed right into my head, where my third eye was, I felt this very strong buzz, like I was getting shocked. And right after that, then the purple swirl formed into the image of this tiny little guy, also about this big. And so, for anybody who knows or has had experience with this, please certainly let me know or drop me a line if you think these are fairy folk. That's about all I can think of that they might be. And the second guy was a little wizard, and he had this tiny little staff with him, and he was about that big. And what he did was, I'm just going to back up for this, hopefully the volume stays good. He opens his arms up really wide to the side, staff in one hand, nothing in the other. And as he opens his arms really wide, he opens his mouth, wah, like that. And as he does this ball of energy came right out of his chest, and it hit me in the head, just off to the side. And he did that again another 3 times after that, for a total of 4 times. So when he did that, he kept throwing these little balls of energy at me that went bzz, bzz, and like they buzz into a little kind of square or circle all around this area in my head. And it was a pretty interesting experience, and those buzzings that I felt were definitely not subtle by any means. They were definitely pretty intense. So that was the first thing that happened to me when I was trying this, and it actually, this technique, or tip, I guess, just kind of manifested by fluke, because I was actually trying to do an out of body, but it was not working, and then this is what happened. So the second time that I was trying this, just laying there in the morning and getting as close to sleep as possible without actually falling asleep, just right hovering on the edge and just looking ahead through my eyes, in my third eye, is that I actually saw an image appear in front of me that looked like a ball of rainbow. Is about the best that I can explain it, and it looked like maybe the size of a golf ball. Man, probably about the size of a golf ball, and it was white, but then it had a rainbow of colors in it, and it was just swirling all around, and it had a couple of sort of ribbon-like maybe rings that went around it. I'm just trying to find the right words to describe this. So it had a few rings that went around the ball and in different directions, and they were kind of very cloudy, wispy type texture, and this ball of energy that was just glowing with intense rainbow colors and swirling and circling, and it was very mesmerizing and very hypnotizing. And so that one appeared to me, and I got the sense that something intelligent was there, but I have no idea what, and had no idea how to communicate with it. And then obviously, because my mind does wander a little bit, I kind of lost focus, and then it disappeared. And then another time it happened as I said earlier, I got a whole bunch of geometric shapes and patterns looking like a kaleidoscope of cubes and rectangles that were kind of pushing forward towards me. And you know, if you play solitaire on the computer, when you win the game, the cards drop down and you get that 3D dimension of the cards coming down. It was kind of like that, as all these geometric patterns and cubes and rectangles were swirling at me and left superimposed over another image of the one behind it, kind of like that solitaire. So I've had a couple of neat experiences uh, with opening my third eye, and definitely going to continue working on it. I'll continue to make videos in terms of what I'm doing to try and open my third eye. And these are not the only, this, you know, this is one thing, but it's one of many things. And uh, yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to share that tip and those experiences. So the tip again, just, you know, when you're about to go to sleep, either before you go to bed at night or in the morning, for me it works. Wake up, slowly go back to sleep, hold vision and look through the back of your eyelids. And if you are sensitive enough to feel when your body's about to go to sleep, then just hold your level of awareness to not actually let your body go to sleep, or just hold it right on, hovering on the edge of going into a sleep paralysis. And just look and be patient, and you know, just practice with it, have fun. So that's kind of the first stage, and I'll keep doing that, and eventually hope to be able to get my third eye open during a little more so I'm a little bit more awake when I can see some of these things. So that's it, and hope that helps anybody, and take care.